Marcus Rashford. Rashford is in, and Rashford finds the back of the net in front of the Stretford end.
What a ball! Come on,
Marcus Rashford is in. This is Marcus Rashford.
Yeah!
In front of the Stretford end, Marcus Rashford does what he does best.
Eriksen with a great cross. Rashford! Marcus Rashford is a centurion for Manchester United!
Once hailed as the golden boy of Manchester United, Marcus Rashford was more than a footballer. He was a symbol of hope, a hero on and off the pitch. But fast forward to today, the 27-year-old forward finds himself at a crossroads, dropped from Ruben Amorim's squad during a dramatic derby victory at Manchester City. What happened to this once iconic figure? Where did it all go wrong? And more importantly, is his time at Manchester United coming to an end? And if it's gonna happen, what are the best possible options for him at this stage of his career? Let's dive into the unraveling of a star. Born and raised in Manchester, Rashford grew up playing in the shadow of Old Trafford. At just 18, he burst onto the scene in February 2016 in a Europa League match against FC Midtjylland. Handed a surprise debut by then-manager Louis van Gaal, Rashford scored twice, instantly becoming a household name. Just 3 days later, he repeated the feat in a 3-2 victory over Arsenal in the Premier League. His performances quickly earned him a spot in England's national team, where he became the youngest English player to score in his debut at the 2016 European Championship. His pace, flair, and composure in front of goal marked him as one of the most exciting prospects in world football. By 2020, he was not just a footballer, he became a fan-favorite cultural icon, leading campaigns against child hunger and earning an MBE for his efforts. The future seemed limitless. Between 2019 and 2021, Rashford hit his stride. He formed a deadly attacking partnership with Bruno Fernandes and scored crucial goals in the Premier League and Europa League. The 2019-20 season saw Rashford rack up an impressive 22 goals and 11 assists, showcasing his dual threat as a scorer and creator. Fast forward to the 2022-23 campaign, and Rashford elevated his game to new heights, netting a stunning 29 goals and adding 8 assists across all competitions, showcasing his versatility as both a winger and a forward. But while the trajectory of his early career seemed destined for greatness, the signs of struggle began to appear. Injuries, dips in form, and managerial changes slowly chipped away at the confident young player fans adored. Under former manager Erik ten Hag, Rashford's off-pitch lifestyle often made headlines for the wrong reasons. From oversleeping and being dropped for disciplinary reasons to missing training after a night out, these incidents began to tarnish his once pristine image. On the pitch, his performances mirrored this decline. In the last 2023-24 season, Rashford managed just 7 goals in 43 games, a far cry from the prolific forward fans were used to. And in current 2024-25 season, his struggles continued with only 7 goals in 24 appearances so far. These numbers tell a story of a player whose spark seemed to have fizzled out. The arrival of Ruben Amorim as Manchester United's head coach this season brought a renewed sense of hope, a beacon of discipline and ambition for a club desperate to reclaim its glory. Known for his no-nonsense approach, Amorim demanded nothing less than excellence, both on and off the pitch. Yet for Marcus Rashford, this fresh start quickly turned into a reckoning. When Rashford was dropped from the squad ahead of the high-stakes Manchester derby against City, it wasn't just a statement, it was a seismic shock. The reason? Disciplinary issues yet again.
It's important to say why. It was not a disciplinary thing. Next week, next game, new life. They are fighting for the places, but for me it's important the performance in training, the performance in game, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you engage with the teammates, the way you push your teammates. Everything is important.
Amorim's words during his press conference sent a clear message. Next week, next game, new life. They will compete for a place in the team if they are better than the other guys in all the situations, inside and outside the pitch. The ultimatum was set: meet expectations or face the consequences. Amorim's arrival had offered a lifeline to players like Rashford, but lifelines don't last forever. With Rashford's inconsistency casting a shadow over his potential, it's clear the clock is ticking. And with January's transfer window looming, his future at Old Trafford hangs by a thread. The question now is, can Marcus Rashford rise to the challenge and prove his worth, or has his time at Manchester United finally run out? At 27 years old, Marcus Rashford finds himself at a critical crossroads. Earning a staggering £325,000 a week under a 4.5-year contract signed in July 2023, his substantial wages make him a financial liability for United, especially given his declining form. But if his time at Old Trafford is nearing its end, the pressing question remains: where could he go? Kickstarting his career away from Old Trafford will be difficult for financial reasons due to the cost to a new club of taking him on. Rashford does have options, but some are likely to be more appealing than others. Staying at Old Trafford and working to rediscover his best form is the best option, both for Rashford and United, and Amorim has left the door open for the player to fight for his place. But as the coach said after the derby, "You understand, for so long we try something with Rash, it doesn't work. Let's continue to do the same thing or try something different." It's now or never for Rashford. He has the pace, the goal threat, and the history of delivering in big games. But can he rediscover that magic at Old Trafford? Rashford has spent 2 decades at this club, but has revealed just 2 days after he was left out of the derby win over rivals Manchester City that he is ready for a new challenge. So the question is, could Rashford stay in the Premier League but leave United? That's unlikely. Intense rivalries make a move to Manchester City or Liverpool almost impossible. Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham are either uninterested or unable to afford his wages and transfer fee. So Rashford's domestic options are limited. If there's one place that could not only match Rashford's current wages, but increase them, it's Saudi Arabia, where clubs are allowed to sign up to 8 non-Saudi players born before 2003 in a 30-man squad. In Saudi Pro League, not only he could earn more than his United wages, but would also help the club offload a massive £17 million from their annual wage bill. But from a sporting perspective, would Rashford consider a move to Saudi Arabia that would almost certainly end his hopes of returning to the England squad in time for the 2026 FIFA World Cup? That is the hurdle that must be overcome if Saudi Arabia is to become a realistic destination for Rashford. The one other option outside of Saudi Arabia would be Paris Saint-Germain, as they showed interest in Rashford 2 summers ago, but the French champions' interest did not develop into a confirmed bid for the player. Having pursued and signed some of the biggest names in the game including Neymar, Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi, PSG have now moved away from that superstar recruitment policy to focus on signing the best emerging talent in France and beyond. So at 27, with his best days seemingly behind him, Rashford would appear to hold little interest to PSG. But with the club struggling to qualify for the Champions League knockout phase, PSG might believe that Rashford could add experience in a key position. But that is likely to be a forlorn hope for the United player. If United are open to offers for Rashford in January, a Bundesliga move could emerge as a viable option, particularly through a loan deal similar to that which helped revitalize Jadon Sancho's career at Borussia Dortmund last season. Sancho, frozen out at United, rediscovered his form in Germany, helping Dortmund to the Champions League final before securing a summer move to Chelsea. While no Bundesliga team, including Bayern Munich, can afford Rashford's transfer fee and wages outright, a loan deal could benefit both parties. Additionally, Bayern and United could explore a mutually beneficial arrangement involving Bayern's soon-to-be out-of-contract stars such as Joshua Kimmich, Leroy Sane, or Alphonso Davies. A move to Germany could reignite Rashford's career while potentially boosting his transfer value or facilitating a part exchange deal for a player who fits Amorim's plans. Marcus Rashford isn't just any player. He's a Manchester United Academy graduate, a national hero, and a symbol of resilience. But football is unforgiving. If he doesn't impress Amorim soon, his options will dwindle further, leaving him with little choice but to accept a move to Saudi Arabia or sit out his contract at Old Trafford. For Rashford, the choices are clear but daunting: fight to reclaim his place at Manchester United or seek a fresh start elsewhere. With the January transfer window approaching fast, these decisions could shape the trajectory of his career. What do you think? Is it time for Rashford to move on and rediscover his spark elsewhere? Or does he have another heroic comeback left in him at Old Trafford? The clock is ticking, and the football world is watching. Can Marcus Rashford rewrite his story and prove his doubters wrong? Or will this chapter close his United career? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned to see how this unfolds. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a joyful New Year ahead. Thanks for watching.